at which point did community become such a large part of what you were doing? Because from what I've seen is that the community has actually been almost like a foundational aspect of what you've been able to grow and evolve towards. And how was that part of it been?
Yeah, so there's actually a word that our users use. It's called mahal. कि हमें माहौल नहीं मिला या we didn't get the environment to do well. And if you just create that mahal or environment again and again in different scenarios, magic literally happens, right? That first instance of a mahal was a physical event. The second instance is now YouTube. The third instance for us is our English speaking app, right? Where it's not rocket science. We are using the same curriculum that all organizations in the world are using to teach English. The only thing that we've introduced is a feature where people can talk to each other in English. So because you're building that human connect and you're practicing every day, you're making friends on the app, it's driving completion. So I think people just want a sense of belonging. And that's essentially why communities exist, right? And once they have that, they are so much more confident to take actions because they just feel like they're a part of something what's there to lose. Yeah.
And there's also something which you've said, and we spoke about this before we got into this podcast, and you've said this out there as well, is that, and I feel that's such a beautiful insight on, especially the way we function as a country, is that you are that bade bhaiya in that sense. You've been able to build that the elder who you turn to for advice, which is not necessarily your parents. I think I think most of us will agree that when we turn to our parents for certain things, we always have someone else who's older we turn to. And I thought that's such a beautiful insight on just what India functions like and what we all need. But I'd love for you to talk about it because I feel that there's a really strong message in that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's common, right? Like you were talking about your experiences, and I think we've all had them at different stages. It's just something that we realized was not a moment, it was a phenomenon. Which is that if you speak to someone who's actually, it doesn't even matter whether you're from a larger town or city or a smaller town, but at least we've seen it more in smaller towns and cities in India. And you ask them, what is the attribution of your success? And there is always this chacha or a bhaiya or a tayaji who told them to pick up a career choice. Go to Delhi, join the tuitions for IAS test prep and you'll be able to crack the exam. Go to Kota, study for engineering and you'll change the face of your house. So there's always almost been like this figure, like a guiding figure in people's lives, and who they've turned to again and again is just, I think, putting it all together. Like we coined this bade bhaiya phenomenon, and we try and use that for everything, right? Because at the end of the day, like, we are a lecture on stage for 20 minutes. It sounds super boring, right? At the first look, but the only
because we all have a visual of what a lecture feels like.
Yeah, it feels like school, and like you're in the last seat, but it's not a lecture. It's actually a bade bhaiya on stage who is giving you direction in a way that's relatable, who's sharing his story or her story and just hoping you take something back from it.
For more insights like this, make sure you check out the full episode.